everybody can join in here. 1 second. All right. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. I hope everybody had a great trading day today. All right. So today we're going to be continuing our series here on Demark tools with buy and sell arrays. So yesterday we talked about buy and sell formations. This is kind of like a continuation pattern for it. They're very interesting, so we'll get into that in a little bit here. But before we get started, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. All right. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. So, like we said, everything's for education purposes only and not investment advice. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look and see where we left off at the market here today. Then we're going to take a look at the futures and see what we're up to or down to here this evening. And then we'll take a look at the topic, and then we'll go through questions and chart requests. So let's get started. All right, so SPX was down, $1.35 today. So still green here on the monthly chart here over the upper Bollinger Band. Weekly chart still green off of last week's green week, which invalidated the prior week's bearish engulfing candle. RSI still not overbought yet, but could get interesting up here, right? If RSI does get overbought, we might see a little bit of a bearish divergence coming up if that does occur. But right now, right, so today we had our first red candle in a while. It was also an outside candle, and it actually was, if you zoom in here, really tight, right? So yesterday's doji candle right here, you can see that it was a bearish engulfing candle because the real body engulfed the prior real body, right? So we do have a bearish engulfing candle going in tomorrow. So it is possible that wave one might be done here, right? So we're still tracking this wave one. Wave done might be done, and then we might get a wave two pullback. So what does that mean for the market? Well, it means the bears are going to be like, oh, the top is in, right? This is all over, right? So we'll see how that goes, right? So remember, with a wave two, the common retracement is a 618. The 618 happens to correspond perfectly right now with the gap fill down here. So if we do work our way down here for, sort of like an A, right, B, let's say A to the 382, B for a potential bounce. Now, I mean, it could bounce off the 382, that's possible. B, C for the gap fill, and then we work our way back up for a much larger potential wave 5 up, right, to take out these levels and continue to work its way up for a wave 3 of 5 up, right? So we're going to keep an eye on that and see how it goes right here. Again, we were a little bit extended here comparatively to some of our last waves, right? The last big wave one that we had was back here, right? And that actually ended up being a pretty amazing move, right? And so right now we're still just kind of grinding our way up right here, which is kind of neat. So we'll see how we go. We might have a couple more days to the upside, and then we'll see where we go from there. Anyway, let's say the intraday price action here today. So we did have some fun today. So for those of you guys out there who like to day trade, right? We love a good short, and because it goes so fast, right? And it's just like this is fantastic right now. It stinks if you for long portfolios and stuff. Nobody likes to see this for their long portfolios. Like, oh, what's going on, right? But for intraday, this is great, right? So we had an inside 15, right, and big upper shadow here off of that inside 15, and then flush below the 15 or below. Took out yesterday's levels, and then they bought the dip, right? So a little bit of chop right here, then we kind of ground our way up right here, and then a little bit of a down move, and then up move at the end of the day, right? So the morning was awesome, right? We had a lot of chop right here, and then Powell started talking at 2 o'clock today. And he was basically talking about labor, the state of the labor market, and lots of divergences, right? So we're talking about the K reversal and all that stuff. But anyway, it did pop out of this range right here and gave some moves on some key names, right? Facebook made a nice move out of here. Microsoft made a nice move out of there. And Netflix made a really nice move out of there. It was pretty epic on that. And then we had a little bit of a down move here off of our key levels, and we went from there. Let's take a look at the S&P futures. You can kind of see what we look at during the day. These levels we provide to Bubble Report members and to our lead access members each morning, and really cool stuff to trade against, right? Especially our signal zones. These are our supply and demand zones. So a lot of times, you see all these levels really tight down here. What we do is we expect chop, right? The only way to really get through these, it's hard to chop through all these levels, but sometimes it just takes a day like today just to slice through those zones and kind of reset things a little bit, right? So we got a nice little reset move right here, but we did bounce off of a nice big signal zone below. And then we tested a couple other key levels working our way up. We got back to yesterday's highs, right? Got an upper shadow up the signal zone up here, a couple upper shadows off of that, and then we pushed back down again. So some nice responsive action into the end of the day. As of now, the futures are looking a little bit weak going into tonight, so we'll see how that goes going into tomorrow. We were pretty cautious overnight here just because of the potential of this wave 1 being done and working on a wave 2. So we're just kind of tracking these levels here going into this evening. So you can see here we've already broken a few key geometric lines going into tonight, right? We just lost this right here, so it is possible we might work our way down to that 3880 level. Maybe not tonight, but possibly into tomorrow. So we'll see how it goes here, especially if the wave 2 is starting. We might see, if it's a zigzag down, we could see some more sharp action. So just kind of be prepared for that. So good stuff. So let's go to the topic here. So this week we've been talking about Demark tools, and today we're going to be talking about buy and sell arrays. Okay, so because there's a lot of counting, right, with these setups. So let's take a look. So yesterday, just a real quick recap on it. Let's pull up AMD, and let me see if I can pull up a clear chart here on AMD on the daily, so you're not seeing all of our stuff, all of our levels on this. Okay, yeah. So we got a nice clean chart right here. So let's take a look at AMD. So to pull up the Demark sequence counter in Thinkorswim, all we do is we go to the studies and we pull up the study, the sequence counter, right? So we just kind of pull that in here, and then we take a look and see what we get. So yesterday, actually, let me switch this up right here. Studies, edit studies, sequence counter. We go back to the defaults, and I'll show you this cool stuff tomorrow. So there we go. Wait, hold on. Do we get it here? Study. Give me 1 second, guys. Studies, edit studies, and factory default. There we go. Good. Okay, cool. So good stuff. All right, so here's AMD. So yesterday we were talking about the buy and sell formations, right? And so what happens is, right, with those, right, we're looking for a closing price that's higher than that of 4 bars ago, right? And so here we can see this one started with a well, you can look at it either way right here. This one started here. We definitely closed between 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. So that gave us a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? And we look for potential support areas to get ready for a bounce. Now it kind of calmed down right here and it went sideways for a little bit, and then we started a sell sequence, right? So the buy sequence down right here, things started to work their way up. This one started with a 1 here today, or a 1 on this day, right? And so what happened? Well, we closed above that of 1, 2, 3, 4 bars ago. The close was right here. We closed above it, so that gave it a 1, and then a 2, and 3, and 4, and started to work its way up, right? And so from there, we got the end of that formation, right? And we actually, a couple days later, started to work its way back down. So what's this? What's this 1 right here? Okay, so this is what we're talking about here today. So these are the buy and sell arrays. These are a little bit different, right? So after we've got the buy and sell formation, this is sell formation. So after that occurs, right? So this is where we start looking for the array. Okay, so the array pattern, right? And these go, so the buy and sell formations go up to 9 by default, and the arrays go up to 13. But they're a little bit different, right? They don't go sequentially, right? So this gives you a nice count right here, right? So just 1 to 9, 1 to 9. But look at this. This started with 1 right here. So why did this give us a 1? Okay, so the array forms, it can do it after an intersection, right? So an intersection is basically on the long side, is where you have the high of any day on or after the 8th day of the formation. Is greater than or equal to the low of that of any day 3 or any prior 3 days. Okay, so and then the same thing. It's the opposite for the short side, right? So that's kind of the basics of that. But also that's one way to set up the array. The other one is where so what we're doing is we're looking for a price that has a high price greater than or equal to the low of 3 or more bars ago. Okay, so here we go. So we have a price that's greater than or equal to that of more than 3 bars ago, right? So that's the high. We're looking for the high price is greater than the low of 3 or more bars ago. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the low is right here. So there's your 1. Okay, and then we look for a high of greater than the next one. We look for the next wave. The next array 2 is looking for the same thing, right? It's looking for a high of greater than more than 3 bars ago, right? And so this actually happened here. It has to be greater than, like I said, it has to be greater than the low of 3 or more bars ago, right? So so that's exactly what we're looking for here. This one probably could have been a 2, but in this case, the array ended up occurring here. I think this was an intersection start. But here we had a high greater than the low, a high greater than the low for a 3, right? And then we had a high greater than a low here, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and this one exhausts when it goes to 13. So again, like we said, it's what it does is, so it's a condition that looks for the high price greater than or equal to the low, greater than or equal to the low of 3 or more bars ago, but not earlier than the beginning of the formation. Okay, so same thing with the cell formation. The condition exists with a bar having a low price that's less than or equal to the high of 3 or more bars ago. So in this case, we're looking for the low, right, for this condition. So this low is less than or equal to the high of 3 bars ago. So that's what these ones are counting for. I'm sorry if I was confusing on that one. So here's the low of this candle right here. It's greater than the high of 3 or more bars ago, right? So you can see here, right? Here's your low right here, and it's less than the high. So here's the low, right? Is less than the high. Here's the low is less than the high, right? Here's the low, right, is less than the high of 3 or more bars ago, right? So you can see how this array kind of continues. And then this is a continuation pattern, essentially. So what we're looking for is we're looking for more short opportunities off of this to look for exhaustion, right? So this one ends up working its way up to 13 right here, and then we start to essentially see a little bit of a down move. So it gets a little more complex with these. The arrays are not my favorite ones to trade, but oftentimes when we see them get to the end of the move, we do see a little bit of exhaustion there, right? So so pretty cool stuff. Let's see if we can find one. Here's another example right here, right? We got to 9, right? And so in this case here, we have the wave. Signal 1 of the array is a bar that's having a low price less than or equal to the high of 3 or more bars ago. So here's the low less than or equal to, right, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 or more bars ago. So that gives a 1. That gives a 1 here. This one, the same thing, right? So we didn't get it here, but this time we got low of 3 or more bars ago. 1, 2, 3. So then it starts working its way up. So in this case, we had a cell formation right here. And it works its way down a little bit off it. Then we get to 13. This one ended up being a pretty epic reversal off of the 13, right? Definitely extended, right? So you can see how important this is when these align with key levels, key indicators. It can give you a good opportunity here in that case for exhaustion. So good. So hopefully I didn't exhaust you too much with that. But it is a really cool tool. And tomorrow what we're going to do is I'm going to show you another way to look at this, because I think the way that they kind of they program this in, I think is a little bit, or the way they talk about it is a little bit confusing. And so tomorrow I'm going to kind of put it together for you, and I'm going to show you how powerful this can be if you look at it in a different way. So good stuff. So I really appreciate everybody for tuning in for this series this week. And again, tomorrow we're going to wrap things up. Oh, one thing I wanted to mention from yesterday is if we go take a look at Apple, for instance. So Apple did the same thing yesterday, right? It started setting up with a long formation or a cell formation a couple days ago, right? So why did it do that? Right, so that because there was a sequence of bars that had a closing price greater than or equal to that of 4 bars ago. So we had a close right here, we closed up here, greater than that of 1, 2, 3, 4 bars ago. So this was actually starting with a 1 sequence up here, right? But what happens is this goes away. So we had a 1, 2, 3, 4 sequence, but we don't have that anymore, right? Because we took out the low of this candle. Right, so the count stops. What I really like about these counts is that it stops once we invalidate the setup. Right, so here in this case, right. So what I like about it is, let's say you go long here, right, and you're looking to make a move right here. Well, this got invalidated here today. So in other words, you really didn't get hurt that much, right? So you're basically looking at getting, essentially. We'll talk about it more tomorrow. But if, say you went long on this candle to work its way up, right here you only get stopped out for a little bit instead of going through a lot of pain. So that's one of the things I really like about these setups. So we'll talk about that more going into tomorrow. So good stuff. So other than that, guys, at this point, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those in the chat window, and we will get through as many as we can and try to wrap up as early as possible so we can all get a good night's sleep and have another awesome trading day tomorrow. So good stuff. All right. So Shirley sent it a few in via email here. So Shirley, I hope you're doing great out there. Let's take a look at Match. Let's take a look at Match. Yeah, so Match Group, big move there today, right? Nice little pullback the last couple of days, and then boom, a big push to the upside. Great find on Match. Let's take a look at Billy. In fact, it looks pretty strong going into tomorrow still, even with the upper shadow. So Billy has had a pretty good run right here. Today was a nice engulfing candle to the upside, so we may see a little bit of follow through in this too. Again, the China names were pretty strong going into this morning. We talked about that in the bubble report here. NVIDIA just epic, right? So a nice push here to fresh all-time highs finally. Let's see if that gets some follow through going into tomorrow. We're up about 2 points here after hours. Let's take a look at RAD. Yeah, so RAD again, the pharmacy names were really strong today, right? Walgreens was epic, gave a really nice move today. So RAD with a strong move, tough on the options, but a nice strong move here intraday. So good stuff there. And then Open, let's take a look at that too. Yeah, so a nice move yesterday. Again, a good candle yesterday to get things started on Open. Really, really nice stuff, and great follow through to the upside. On Open here. So great finds on those. Nice job, Shirley. I appreciate it. Mike, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, so let's take a look at Tilray. So Tilray, just an epic move recently on all these pot names. Incredible stuff, and pushing higher here after hours. So again, it gave a nice push up here immediately. Let's see what they do tomorrow with this. Again, it's getting a little bit, tired up here, I would say. Right, that's kind of a rough, kind of hanging man type candle. So let's see how it goes going into tomorrow. We may still get a gap up on it. Like I said, we're up 4 points here after hours. But what an epic move on Tilray. So we'll see how that goes. And then Tesla. So Tesla, again, guys, started to break down yesterday. Right? We talked about that here on the live stream. And we put it on our bearish radar. And Paul even mentioned in the bubble report this morning with the potential alt count wave 2 pullback, which is what we got here today. So let's see if that holds, and if it can try to work its way back up. But if it continues to break down, there is a possibility that we test this 780 level on Tesla. So good stuff there. And GameStop, getting interesting. Yeah, it is. It's they try to push it up here a little bit today. Came back down here at the end of the day, upper shadow, still below the ADMA. Tough one. It's got a lot of work to do if they want to get this thing going again. So we'll see how that goes there. Good stuff. Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks again, Mike. Appreciate you tuning in. The Nest, what's going on? MOS. Let's take a look here. So a lower shadow on MOS here off of the ADMA. So let's see if that can gear up here for a little bit of a move. Otherwise, it might be running out of time on this one. XRX, let's take a look. So yeah, Xerox, again, still hanging in there, right? So let's see if this thing is ready to try to make a push up here back off of this geometric level. So good find on that one too. Home Depot. Let's take a look at Home Depot. So, yeah, Home Depot getting tougher. I want to see it break over the geometric line. Right, that's really what I'm looking for. Otherwise, it looks a little bit blah. Let's see. Let's take a look at Lowe's. So Lowe's is hanging in there. It's actually holding on to this prior resistance level pretty well. It's over the ADMA. I like the lower shadow off of it. So that if that gets going, right, maybe we could see Home Depot make a little bit of a move with it as well to try to get over that geometric line. So good stuff there. And what else? You got CVLB. Let's take a look. CVLB. So CVLB with an upper shadow here, but actually looks pretty strong going into tomorrow. So we're up a little bit after hours too. So let's see if we can get some follow through. Yeah, that's looking like it's got some strength. Farfetch, again, kind of hanging in here a little bit, possibly working on a bull flag. I would just kind of give it some time to see if it can show some strength on that one, some volume. It's got earnings coming up. Curie is interesting. It's a 3-day pullback right here after a nice breakout candle. So let's see if it's gearing up to make another move up into earnings on Curiosity Systems. So good stuff there. ZEK, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. AAL, is this thing tradable anymore? Are they letting us trade it? So last time I tried to trade it, it was unavailable. But anyway, so it's getting really tight right now at the ADMA. Let's see if it's getting ready for a move. It looks like it wants to kind of try to spring higher, but we'll see how it goes there. Let's take a look at Tiger. Yeah, so T-Gray here, again, a nice push on that one. Again, not quite dark cloud cover, but kind of a rough candle there after a big move up. So let's see if it goes up a little bit after hours. Let's see if we can try to push into that going into tomorrow. FCX was actually on my bearish radar today. You got dark cloud cover on this one, big shooting star candle off of it. Looks a little bit tired up here. So kind of keep an eye on it, see if it's ready to push its way down, at least to test the ADMA, and then see how it holds there. So good stuff. And then ORTX, let's take a look. So ORTX with an inside day. Again, it really needs to take that inside day up tomorrow. It gave an incredible breakout move right here. I love the initial tag of this geometric line. And then the 2-day consolidation, and then boom, for a big move on ORTX. Good find on that one. So Michael, so play, upgraded, price start, nice. Raymond James, yeah, so good move. I know you've been tracking this one for a while. This looks okay. Let's see if it gives a push tomorrow. That could be great. Nice, yeah, after the hot dog pattern. I love it. Good stuff. Inverted hot dog pattern, right? So good stuff there. And so what else? And then Twitter, Zynga. Yeah, Zynga with tried to perk up yesterday with the glue acquisition news, right? But that ended up giving you a bearish engulfing candle here today. So it is up here. We had earnings, after hours, didn't we? So yeah, so it's kind of grinding up a little bit after hours. Let's see if that can push here. Again, if it gets over these highs, we could see a little bit of short squeeze on it. That would be nice. And then Twitter, of course, today. Just a decent move right here. Again, the play is tomorrow if it can push above today's highs. So that would be cool too. Then PLG, let's take a look. PLG, nice reversal of yesterday's move. I like how it gapped above yesterday's bearish candle. That gave it a professional gap right there. Let's see if we can go over today's highs and give it a little bit of move there. Oxy, again, a lot of these oil names are starting to get a little bit extended, but we'll see if this one can continue to push its way up here. I do like how it took the inside day up. It was not easy intraday today, but it did give some good moves. Huge! Yeah, so huge. Look at that. That's up a point after hours. Look at that. Woo! Big move on huge there. So yeah, so nice push on that one. Let's see if we get any follow through going into tomorrow. SNDL. So we had wow, yeah, another big one here. This is another good pop mover on this one. Wow, this one could really get going. Wow, this is one I wish I had on the radar. Amazing move on this. A few folks in the group were talking about, but very nice stuff there. Grow, again, this one too, kind of in between here, but a nice strong move here today. Let's see if that can continue to push. And then AYRO. Woohoo! Big candle there today. Beautiful. Just a nice move on that one. Got really tight there for a while, and then kapowie with a big move. Incredible stuff. I love it. So Dan, J&J, smash the thumbs up button. I love it. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. Let's take a look at Johnson & Johnson here. So yeah, it's kind of grinding its way up here. A little bit of a rough candle here today, but riding the ADMA up, so looking pretty decent there. V, let's take a look at Roku. Yeah, so inside day today. Not surprised to see a bit of a pause day here after yesterday's big candle. So let's see what kind of follow through we get on that tomorrow, if we could take it up or not. Sean, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, let's take a look at XPEV. XPEV getting tight right here. I'm not a big fan of this upper shadow off of the ADMA, so be careful there if it breaks down below the cloud on that. But it did give a nice little push at the open for anybody who's overnight yesterday. So good stuff there. So Rita, so Amazon, yeah, kind of maybe. We'll see. It could still be a 1-2-1-2. I do like the lower shadow off this one. Just be careful if we lose yesterday's lows. 50-day moving average could be in play. So definitely keep an eye. I did give some good short opportunities today, that's for sure. So good stuff there, and then a little bit of a dip buy. Tracy, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Let's take a look at Zoom. Yeah, so Zoom with a kind of a rough candle here today. It's kind of sitting at that prior support level. Let's see if it can hold here, but it did give an epic move the last couple days. Very nice stuff there. And then I'm sorry, that's Z. And then Zoom. Big day yesterday, possibly a pause day today. See if that turns into a doji sandwich going into tomorrow. It might have an opportunity for some upside if it can get above today's highs. So good stuff there. Ryan, yeah, Disney on the bullish, on the earnings radar coming in tomorrow. We have earnings tomorrow after the close, so it's kind of just chopping around here into earnings. Let's see what kind of numbers they come out with, and what kind of guidance they give. Corsair, again, a little bit rough here. It's kind of a rough inside day, so just be careful with this. Right, that's a close below the ADMA after earnings. Right, so watch if it takes the inside day down and pushes down a little bit more. Numa, what's going on? Good to see it. Yeah, so let's take a look at Facebook. So Facebook is actually looking a little bit bullish. I like how it's back over the 50-day. The only thing I don't like is the cloud right here. I'd like to see it get above the cloud with some volume to see if it's ready to get going on Facebook. And then BLSP. Big inside day on this one too. Nice candle the other day, right? Good push, right? Got it up to its first target level right there, right? And then we had an inside day here today after the pullback. So again, it's really got to push its way up here to kind of get going. Cheap name, right? So, but looking pretty interesting. Good stuff. Thank you. V, what's going on? Tile. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Yeah, big breakout candle on that one. That looks pretty strong. Let's see if we can get any follow through on that one. Wild name. Tyler Electron Technologies. Wow, interesting one on that one. Space starting to get a little bit bearish here, guys. It's basically kind of triangulating here for a couple days. This was its first kind of weak day in a while, right? So just kind of be careful with this one. If it breaks down below these lows, we may see some more downside on space. Jason, what's going on? Good to see you. Yeah, so the bear flag on ES. So what are we talking about? We're talking about daily chart. We're talking about intraday. What time frame we're looking at? So I mean, intraday, this could be a big bear flag right here, which we're losing the geometric level on right now into the close. So we'll see. Again, like I said, we might test these lows right here, or we might get down to the signal zone here tonight. So we'll see what they have in store for us tomorrow. So good stuff there. Otherwise, it could be a bull flag here on the daily, right? So we got that going on. So yeah, VDiz, definitely. So earnings coming up tomorrow night, getting tight right here going into those. And Ryan, yeah, Billy, this is one that Shirley suggested earlier. Nice bullish engulfing candle here today after the last couple days. Let's see if Billy can get any more follow through, especially if it can push above today's highs. Billy's a wild name, so definitely want to keep an eye on though if you like it. So good stuff there. I like the big move today. Suyag, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's take a look at pins. Yeah, so pins kind of getting tight right here. So we got a nice outside day after an inside day. So see if we can push over these highs and if it's ready to go again. With Twitter up, a couple of the social media names looking okay. Tesla again, potential downside to that this prior turning point pivot down here, right? So keep an eye on that to 780, and then DKNG. DKNG just kind of blah right now, so it's just kind of chopping around. It could be working on a larger, pennant type pattern, but watch out if it breaks down below today's lows and below the ADMA, might come back and want to retest the geometric line. So good stuff there. And then S. Sharma, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's take a look. So you got Baba. Yeah, so Baba, where is Jack Ma? Somebody said they saw him on a golf course, right? So we gapped up here today. But possible ascending triangle on this one. Look for some bullishness on it if anybody actually sees him, right? So good stuff there. Tommy, what's going on? SRGA, let's take a look. Yeah, SRG, a little bit of a pullback right there. Again, looking kind of interesting. Keep an eye on it. It's kind of a cheap name, but if it can break above these levels with some volume, it might get interesting into earnings. BLRX too. Yeah, another penny name right here. Could be interesting, right? So nice lower shadow here off the ADMA. So see if that can try to grind its way back up again. It's definitely getting active here, so that's good. So good stuff there. And then we looked at those. Yeah, good stuff right there. And then let's take a look at Blink. Let's take a look. Blink with an inside day today. So it's a little bit of a rough pullback here today. Watch out if it takes out these lows, but if it holds on here, if it takes out the highs, right, this thing might try to push its way up a little bit higher, maybe try to get back to that 64 level on Blink. So Jason, yeah, the 1 hour, yeah, on the ES, yeah, so ES here, if we go here, let's take a look. Where is that 1 hour chart? Yeah, it's a little bit sloppy. Yeah, so potential bear flag on this one, right? Starting to break down below that geometric line, right? So we're down 7 points right now. It's kind of a big move these days for the ES, but we'll see how it goes. See how we go from there. So good stuff. Good. Yeah, and Baidu, let's take a look. Yeah, Baidu's just been epic the last couple of days. What a move. What a great move out of these geometric lines right here. And this was the day right here. This was just the increased volume day out of the geometric line. It's just like, have a nice day, right? Just beautiful move on that one. Getting a little bit extended right here. Maybe I might try for a couple more days, but other than that, just be careful on that with the spinning top there. But great find. Good stuff there. Yeah, Tommy, thanks so much. Yeah, everybody hit the like button. We appreciate it. So good stuff, guys. So I appreciate everybody for tuning in this week for the series. Tomorrow, I'm going to show you a really cool tactic, a really cool tool to use with these Demark tools with the sequence counter. I think you guys are going to like it. So be sure to tune in tomorrow night. We'll be finishing up the series tomorrow. But again, guys, thanks everybody for tuning in. I hope everybody has a great rest of your evening. I appreciate the questions and chart requests. We'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. If you're a Bubble Report member, we'll get the Bubble Report, right? That's our morning report that we send out. And also for Elite Access member, we'll see you guys in the Discord in the morning too. But even if you guys aren't a part of our group, and the links are in the description for that, we'll still see you guys here on YouTube for the Good Morning Market Prep video, and we'll see you on Twitter with our morning prep stuff too. So I hope everybody has a great rest of your evening. We'll see you guys in the morning. Until then, stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game, and we'll talk to you guys soon.